back to the next part of building a spit roast for the pickup. Okay, in the last episode we made the pole and everything for the back, triangulated that. Now we've got the front back end on this car, we can now concentrate on the pole for the front. There has been some conversations about the angle of my pole, but we can go into that a bit more later. Well, I'm assuming it's going to work, but we'll find out if the whole thing works anyway. But anyway, so what we need to do is drop the subframe out, get the pole in across the top, the bar across, get the scaffold pole on, and then work out what we're going to do about triangulating the front, either down to the front subframe mounts, or some people go down to the floor mounts as well. But I'm trying to keep the floor a bit clear, because then we can use that, we can just wrap to that easily without anything getting in the way later. But we'll be able to judge more once the subframe's out. So anyway, alright, let's get the subframe out. Okie dokie. Subframe's not quite out. Need to raise the car a bit higher. Or what I might do is just chop the legs of the jig off, because I think we're done with the engine sitting on a frame now. It's as square as it's going to be. If it's not square now, the car's going to stay unsquare. So anyway, that was it. I had this around the other way last time, but that round, that's why you can see it's a bit of a different colour where it didn't get stone blasted. But yeah, so that's my idea. Put that in there like that. Tighten these up. And then, yeah, we triangulate the pole down, or down to I'm thinking of going down to these front subframe points. That's my current idea at the moment. So yeah, that's my current plan. So let's find... Hey, Mel! 13 mil. Need to balance this on something. Don't know what. Do it up or not? So we do that up. So that's why we need some sort of triangulation in there to cope with it. Ooh. Yeah, but yeah, that's all right. So a couple of bars down. I don't know whether to. Oh yeah, I could take the subframe mounts off the rubber subframe and go straight onto the actual front. The downside of going to the front instead of going to the body is that I'm using the front as triangulation as well for the whole lot, which I think I'm pretty okay, because I'm hoping the front's fairly strong. But yeah. But then again, you're not putting the stress on the floor, so vice versa. But I think the wing's bolted in, it's welded in. We're as good as. We're good egg. Lovely. Keep going. Okay. You can't see all of it, but what I've done, cut a bar like that. I think I'm going to drill 2 holes in it, bolt it through either end through to the front panel subframe mounts. Then we can come off that bar and triangulate up to this top bit a lot easier. No faffing around, and jobs are good. And yeah, that'll do, won't it? Let's drill a hole. 26. Yeah, bolting this bar in. Now, we need to cut bits. This is just some random stuff I've got left over. So that. And then triangulate it. I don't think it's worth it. Silly, we could just weld that on like that or something silly, but let's do a bit of proper triangulation, another one down to there. No harm doing. yeah, we'll just weld them onto the sides of this bar. Get a fairly good weld in there. Should be alright. We can always put some triangulation in around this and padding if we feel so needed. Alright. Goggles. Smoking. There we go. Let me turn the old big weld off. Whoa. So yeah. Didn't do any measurement of that, whether the pole's horizontal or not, but yeah, we're going to that. If it all works in the later videos. Well, I may add that video to there. Kev, Gentleman Motor Racing, seems to be always wanted to be on my channel. Hello, Kev. Did a little scientific video to talk about my pole angle. He thinks it will work as well. I think it was the judge of it. So I'll add that to the end of the video. You guys can be the judge of that. And so yeah, I put like little grab handles on there. It's not because I couldn't be bothered to cut them off. So yeah, it's triangulated. And that weld in there, it looks lovely. But then to be honest, it held last time it was on. So maybe the pickup could be a bit heavier. So we may just whack some more welds on there quickly while it's still cleanish. And yeah, so that's that. So all we've got to do now is the two vertical poles, hang it, and chop away a lot of the jig that's underneath, because it won't roll now because it's been sitting on the jig. So the jig was designed just to be cut away and thrown away. It's not to be reused. Well, it might be one day, just weld more stuff onto it. But anyway, that's that. All good. Yeah, watch Kev's scientific video after this to tell you whether it's going to work or not. And then we'll find out for real in the next episode. Alright, cheers guys. What was for tea? Quickly. What was for tea? Just chicken and chips. Chicken and chips, wasn't it? Bird's eye. But anyway, check out Kev's video on next scientific video.
Well, that seems like an interesting project. To the lab. Enhance lower right. As you can see, both axes of the spit are in line. Okay, back. Enhance upper right. However, here you can see that the front and rear axes do not meet on the same plane. Back. Left side only. This info is not enough. We need a fixed datum. So let's introduce the floor into the equation. At the moment, the shell is parallel to the floor. If Matt builds the stands in situ, the stands will be different heights. However, the tilt will be quite severe when inverted. The other option is to use equal length stands. This will result in the shell being on a tilt in relation to the floor. We also need to look at the design of Matt's stand. Traditionally, people have used a scaffold pole that runs through a tube. However, Matt's gone for a Y piece. This gives him the advantage that the scaffold pole doesn't actually have to run at right angles to it. You can run at any type of pitch and it will still work. Okay, theory is one thing, but I'd like to try a small experiment. Please excuse the crudity of my model here. It's not to scale, I'm afraid. So, as you can see, I've put the axes at extreme ends, one high, one low, and it pivots, pointing downwards, let's say. If I let it go, it wants to go upside down. That's not the end of the world, because Matt's Mini is a pickup and not a saloon like this one, and the points are not so extreme. But I'd like you to concentrate on these axes here, on the stands. So as it rotates, look how they wobble within the frame. Well, science and experiments are one thing, but there's no substitute for actually doing the job. So Matt, let's spin that Mini.